So when it comes to placing images, nice and easy. If I take that image, I can just go ahead and drag it into Figma. So you can see it's quite large. So I can easily scale by, again, always making sure we constrain our proportions, but we can see it's not actually on my layer. So what I need to do is slide that over so I'm aware, or so now it's actually living on that page. If I need to send it to back, you can simply right click, send to back. I added a color on there. Oopsies. Color on there. I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to go ahead and just size that. So maybe this is for indigo, something like that. But for example, if I want this to maybe be in like a shape. So if I want this to actually just be like a circle, I can actually, oh dear, this might be different now that I think of it. Where are, there we go. Okay, good. Still somewhat in the same spot. If I want to add a clipping mask, I just need to actually put my image on the front. So instead of in Illustrator, it's the other way around, or in Photoshop, whatever you want to clip to goes to the back. When it comes to Figma, you want your actual image that you want clipped will go on the front. And then if I go and I select, so I can use my layers to select the both images. So if I want to clip it to the circle and this, I need to select both. So I can hold shift and select those, or I can simply click and drag. Can you folks still hear me? I just got a weird, okay, good. Got a message coming up saying my mic defaulted. So now you go down here to this little plus sign, and where did that go? It was right there a second ago. I swear. Matching. Well, that's interesting now, isn't it? Sorry, team. This is new to me. This is, there we go. Use, no. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to have to get back to you on that. This is reacting. This is working differently than it used to. That. There we go. Okay, it just didn't show up before. Got it. Okay, so it was correct. So your image needs to be on the front. Your shape needs to go in the back. Maybe I missed that a second ago. But again, we're going to click and drag both of those. We'll hit this plus sign and then use as a mask. And so now I've got it masked to the shape, and you can see what it looks like over in your layers panel. So we have the shape that we've masked, and then the actual image. Like I said, it's reverse than what you do it in Illustrator. And if you need to adjust this, you can simply go to your layers palette and just click the image. And then I can hold shift and I can scale this, or I can adjust where I want this to show. And if I need to move any of it, by default, you can just click and it moves and groups everything together. When we are done, and you need to export this as a JPEG to create your lovely little presentation here, what we're going to do is we click at the top, and down here we have export. So that's where we're going to hit that plus sign, and we're going to say export desktop error page. So we do that as a desktop error page. Nope. Gosh, I need to organize my.
Yeah.
It's like, where did it go? So now that's been exported into a PNG. So now we take that PNG and we're going to bring it into, I would suggest InDesign, because it's best to do presentation stuff in InDesign. And that's where you're going to go ahead and add all of your details. Please be mindful when you are placing that in there. If you happen to have a white background like mine just had, when you place it in, instead of this being just almost like a floating, please give it a little black key line so it gives a frame to it so I can see where that page starts and ends. Other things you want to make sure we put in there, so it should have the logo. It should have your message and a link back to home. I'm going to add that, a graphic. Okay, yeah, so there it's all in there. It should still say that we add the logo. Can you guys hear that moaning? Did you hear that? My dog's like making sounds. And that's essentially it. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Did you? He's pretty far away. He's making his cameo. Question.
As far as like Figma being on the updated version,
Yeah.
Kristen, I thought I pressed update. Do you think should I just log out and log back in maybe?
Figma will, when there's an update, it'll tell you, like when you start
Yeah.
to launch, did it not give you that or no?
Well, because I have like the desk like it on my computer, right?
Yeah.
So then it did say update now or
Or on
later,
next launch. Yes.
right? Or on next launch.
Yep.
I did now. I
Yep.
I assumed it did, but it's still with everything at the top.
It might be because you might have been a couple versions behind. So it might mean quitting and then it might like go back in again and ask it. Or it might, and then it might ask you again. Other than that, I'm trying to think. If you click
I
the
could just log out, log in.
Yeah,
Try
or if you
that.
click the Figma menu at the top left, it'll say like updates. And if you click that, then it should give you the option to update a little bit more. Is anybody else? Who else is on the old one versus the one where the toolbar's at the bottom? So Shannon, you're still on the
It,
older one. Logan.
it said, but when I went to the top left, it said that I'm using the most updated version, but everything's at the top.
When you say everything's so everything's up at the top. Um,
I just downloaded it and everything the toolbar is at the top.
I wish my toolbar was at the top. I wish mine was still there because like I said, I opened up, I was like, what the flip did you guys do?
Are you on like your desktop version or the like
Yes,
the download version? Yeah,
desktop version.
not the
That is interesting. I'm trying to think, if you go to About Figma, what's the number? If anybody can do that for me. Say About Figma and it'll say version
124.3.2.
Yeah, same.
124.3.2. Yeah.
That's the same as mine. Can I
Is
add?
there an option maybe to do
Maybe.
either?
I was just getting mine. Maybe there's a way I can switch it back, and I don't understand why on default it moved mine, but it's not moving
Right.
yours.
Preferences.
Up at
Keep
the
tools.
top,
Yeah.
I'm sure I can move this. Oopsies. No. I'm sure I could move it. I just hadn't looked into it, but there's other things that were, what was one of the things where I was like, oh, this is different? I think maybe if you guys put a box in there, and if you go ahead and add a stroke, if you click stroke, is there a drop down or is it work like this with a little slider?
Slider.
The slider?
And then also for me, that's different from what you were doing is when I did the frame, yeah, like on the right hand side menu where you put in the width and the height,
Mhm.
yours, like you had layer by itself, but my width and height is in the top part with like the X and the Y and the degree and everything, but in the layer section, I can't put the width and height like you did.
Over here on the left hand or the right hand?
Oh, sorry, the right hand. Yeah, like, yeah, see
Over
yours
here.
is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what
mine's up
Shannon's said.
top in
Actually,
position.
Shannon or Meg, do one of you want to screen share? And then maybe, because if everybody's having the same
I'm
issue.
horrible at that. Shannon, do you
Shannon?
want?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
wait,
do it if you
I
need.
should learn
Give me
here.
one
If you don't
second.
mind doing that in front of everyone.
Share. Which one do I want to share? This one. Share. Can you see me?
I can see you. So if you click where it says
Okay.
desktop error. Oh yeah, everything is the
I
same.
figured it out. It's right here.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
what mine looks like.
Yes. Oh, see, everything looks the same there. Oh, I missed that. I need to go back.
Maybe, yeah,
I'm
maybe
going
there's
to
a
look like this and see you've got your name nice at the top there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can change the size. You figured it out, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little search on how I can exactly get the old UI back.
So you like the old version, like the one that's showing for us.
Yeah, and I mean, it might just be getting used to because I was using that for so long. And like I said, I was doing all kinds of writing the last 3 weeks, so I haven't done anything in actually Figma. And when I opened it yesterday, I was like, whoa. So I just mean it's just going to take getting used to and maybe just doing a little bit of searching on maybe. I'm pretty sure there should be a way to get the menu back up there because Acrobat even did that one of the few months ago. They moved their tools down to the bottom, and then I literally just had to search of like how to get the tools back up at the top. But you should still be able to. I think when Shannon screen shared, this layout is actually higher up and position is below. So when you do need to adjust the size, it'll just be right in there.